And now, please welcome to the stage from Cyberproof, Jordy Marine Hines.
Thank you very much, guys, for the opportunity of being here. Appreciate the time that you have been allocating to join us over here. Thank you very much for joining. My name is Jordy Marine. I'm representing Cyberproof today, and I came all the way up here from San Jose, Costa Rica. Hope you guys know the country. If you guys haven't been there, please. Well, you have a host over there, right? Already. Please come visit Costa Rica, guys. Costa Rica is not just important because I came from there, but it's also important because lately Costa Rica has become one of the most important locations for high-tech companies who have invested over there. That, my friends, gave me the chance to learn and to understand how different businesses work in different layers, right? Going through the coding piece, cybersecurity, also the infrastructure, delivery, and lately also in industrial services such as security and SCADA, for example, that type of services that we have been lately involved in, right? Now, all that information that we have collected across those different companies have brought us to develop a adaptive use case management solution, right? How to respond to those incidents in nowadays threats and be able to articulate our resources towards defending your organizations against malicious actors, okay? So let's start by saying that today's threat landscape is tremendously malicious and has evolved a lot from the past years, right? Having that said, let's look into some numbers over here. There is a 135% surge in social engineering attacks. Right now, my friends, we're no longer talking about threats from a USB device, right? We're not talking about man-in-the-middle attacks. We're not just talking about DDoS attacks. We're talking about more elaborated and defined attack vectors that we have faced in the business, okay? Those numbers are reality, and 95% of increasement in ransomware attacks is also another statistic and evidence of how all these have evolved, all this has been impacting. 11% increase in hacktivist activity. As you may know, well, politics and also the war, unfortunately, has brought into this landscape of threat all these topics, and it's been very challenging lately to combine and be able to survive in a world where politics and log sources need to be aligned, as well as cyber threat intelligence, okay, which is very important. 78% of the organizations attacked by ransomware were targeted by multifaceted extortions. Once again, things have changed from the past 10 years, right? And organizations need to evolve, need to have a solid content security strategy in order to be able to articulate the resources and detect all those malicious activity. Not just through encryption, ransomware is nowadays collecting information. It is nowadays applying ransom to our organizations. It's through data leakage. It's through other multiple tools that are available that we have been having knowledge. And that's why developing a security content strategy is key. For us at Cyberproof, developing that strategy is not just key, but it's part of our DNA, right? It's part of what we do on a daily basis. How we actually articulate that is through the use case management framework. This is a framework that has been developed through the years. Once again, since I came from Costa Rica, I had the chance to work for companies such as Akamai Technologies, Microsoft, IBM, and to be transparent, this type of framework is not something you're gonna find there, right? At Cyberproof, we have developed this from scratch, taking into consideration multiple tools, such as Magma. I'm not sure if you have seen Magma in the past. If you're here, probably you have seen Magma, Atomics, as well as DFIR reports, CISA reports. All that in conjunction was pretty much put together in a framework that consolidates 8 different cybersecurity domains: the network cybersecurity domain, data, email, identity management. We also have application, OT, and IoT. Well, once again, if we want to onboard all the security of your business, it's important to take into consideration all these different cybersecurity domains. What's the cool side of Cyberproof? Well, we identify those domains and we make the framework to be vendor agnostic. This framework is pure security. It shows the real value of security, and it combines all those different attack vectors, such as phishing attacks, for example, insider threats, right? Those different attack vectors are aligned here and give us a chance to connect those attack vectors with use cases. One specific use case might contain an X amount of detection rules in the CM at the end of the day, right? So if you guys have, for example, Mimecast, Proofpoint, Office 365, all those solutions at the end of the day will help you to identify a phishing attack, right? So you cannot have a one-to-one comparison in terms of detection rules, right? Talking about the CM specifically. The cool side of this is pretty much that we're combining that and we're giving you the chance to be covered as an organization using those different attack vectors and use cases that we have. One of the benefits at Cyberproof is also the huge catalog of rules that we actually have, not just for one CM, but for multiple CMs that we have been working on. We have 50 plus customers that we do support, and that give us a chance to work with Splunk, LogRhythm, Sentinel, nowadays Google SecOps, right? For example, as well as QRadar. For all those CMs, we pretty much have all these framework aligned, and that's why at the end of the flow, over there in the framework, you can see the pseudo rule logic. The pseudo rule logic is the logic, just like the Sigma rules that you would find probably for your CMs. The pseudo rule logic will define the steps that you need to follow to detect a determined use case. Once again, all these based on experience of our detection response team, experience of myself as the use case management lead, and also the cyber threat intelligence feeds that we have in place. Now, all this makes no sense if we don't have a methodology, right? The methodology itself gives us a chance to articulate the framework and be able to deliver that security and that coverage to your businesses. How this happens? First, we establish a baseline of risk and threats for your organization. This happens in combination with cyber threat intelligence team that we have at Cyberproof. In combination with Mandiant, we also combine other tools just like GTI. If you guys are aware, GTI is also part of it, and other tools such as Interpret as well, right? All this combination of resources enables my team to pretty much be able to correlate and be able to create that baseline of risk and threats. Conduct an internal detection assessment. I've been talking with some of you guys already, and that piece is truly important. It's not just about how much rules we have or which or the amount of rules that we have per log source. Is more about the actual quality of those rules, right? So we do conduct internal assessments to identify inactive rules, to identify those rules that are inefficient. Sometimes, based on experience, it happens that customers move data from one side to the other, and that transition is not well documented, and some rules get fall in an inefficient state because of that, right? So that type of things is what the internal detection assessment will give us. Develop tailored use cases and maintain and manage all that content. Those are the steps of the Cyberproof methodology. Once again, sorry for that, it all starts with establishing the risk baseline. How we do that? Pretty much, we identify with GTI, with CTI, and other tools that we have in-house, the industry attack trends for your business. If you're in healthcare, we'll tailor that solution specifically for your business. If you are in the oil industry, we'll proceed and create a profile for you based on that business industry and the log sources that you have, right? It's not just the business, it's the type of log sources that you actually are using. The organization attack history, that's something very important that personally, I've been putting a lot of attention because that gives me a lot of hints on regards to which malicious groups and what type of tools or weapons they might use to attack your business. So I always ask, as part of the scoping and the workshop that we deliver, about the attack history of the company. That's very, very important, as well as the business risk documentation. All that information is essential to effectively deliver to you guys the proper definition of a content strategy. Relevant threat actors, that happens in combination with threat intelligence, and our CTI engineers have the opportunity to work on dark web, OSINT, and so on and so forth to pretty much deliver that. All that, my friends, is taking into consideration to develop that roadmap, and that's content strategy. Now, the internal detection assessment, like I was saying, we do rely a lot in other tools that have brought us here, right? One of those tools is MITRE. MITRE is the framework that we all use as reference in many ways. And MITRE right now is a great opportunity to represent the progress and to present to your business, to your CISOs, how the progress can happen. Now, I would like to share with you guys a little example on how this actually is delivered to your CISOs, is delivered to your executives and your supervisors with Cyberproof. At Cyberproof, we pretty much take too much into consideration the progress that we do on quarterly basis, right? So over here, you can see on purple, pretty much the actual coverage of one of our customers. That coverage is something that they were not aware in first instance. It was a customer that was not able to pretty much articulate that MITRE mapping in first instance. Once they joined us, we got the chance to do the initial mapping and then progressively show how the MITRE mapping will evolve on the light blue techniques over there, right? That's part of the documentation that we provide to our customers. It's part of the effort that we as use case management team deliver to our customers. Now, that's not the only important thing to mention, the reporting and efficiency. Just like I mentioned, and life has taught me also that if you don't measure something, you're pretty much more prompt to waste and you will be losing things, right? So to measure that's the key in my opinion. Define, measure, analyze, and then control, right? That's the MIC philosophy, okay? Now, log source status, that is where you would find how many log sources, new log sources we have onboarded in the past week, quarter, monthly, depending on how frequent you want this cadence to happen, right? My team is ready to present that and give you guys control over that. Data transformation. One of the important things of being efficient in data management, in effective detection, is to control and transform those logs. That data that comes in, it will not all the time come in the Ceph beautiful format, right? Or the syslog format. There are different tools, there are different log sources that will require transformation. We help you with that, right? We articulate all that analysis. We help you bringing those logs in place and enabling the effective detection. We do an inactive rules report that will give you a clear picture on what rules are actually efficient and which rules are not efficient during the past quarter. That's very important for your business. And detection efficiency. Either way, if you have or not the SOX, the MDR service, the detection and response service with Cyberproof, we can provide to you guys a specific number that you can bring to your board on how efficient your detection is. That's part, my friends, of the services that we provide at Cyberproof. Now, all that makes no sense if we don't do this on a cycle method that will give us the opportunity to develop content, right? And our method pretty much starts with the onboarding. We do transformation. Then we create those use cases for you guys, connect those use cases with the required automations, right? Nowadays, since everything is evolving, it's not just about detecting stuff, it's responding efficiently on those scenarios. And we do work on that automations. Testing and validation is a key part. I'm pretty much an evangelist of unit testing, to be transparent. And we have pretty much experience great results with the unit testing that we have done. In some of the roles, I have to be transparent. Not all the roles are right now in this roadmap, but they will be, right? It's part of the development process that as a business we need to do. All this falls into the continuous improvement that we need to provide and deliver to your customers. Once we fall into that process of continuous development, we can also experience, as part of the use case management services at Cyberproof, that tailored consultancy services that we provide. This is an example of Evil Corp. Evil Corp is a malicious group that has been in the market for many years, and we pretty much made, for one of our customer, a full analysis on that specific malicious group, the weapons they use, how they articulate those attacks against the organizations, and we provide that documentation to our customers, not just for reference for the future, but also to create a detection summary, right? A roadmap of detection opportunities that we will follow in order to detect any activity that might be related to Evil Corp. As you can imagine, Evil Corp is not the only malicious organization doing bad things, right? So those detection rules will apply not just to Evil Corp, to multiple scenarios. So now we're talking about not covering TTPs, not covering log sources. We're talking about actually tackling those malicious guys with the help of my team. At the end of the day, once again, if you don't measure, you actually don't control what you are doing, right? So over here is an example of the same customer that I showed at the very beginning that has an average coverage of 26% of the MITRE framework. That is very low, guys. That is very low. And if you guys are impressed about this, a lot of customers are not even close to this, right? They need to increase their coverage, and that's what we measure. As you can see, Q1 is very clear how the data per tactic was being covered, and on Q2, you can see the improvement that my team brought to this customer. This is the tangible and true value of being with the use case management team, and the true value of being with Cyberproof, okay? At the end of the day, once again, all these falls into that maintenance and manage of the detection rules that we implement in place, and keep control of all that progression that needs to happen for all the threat actors that are in the market. At the end of the day, all this impacts many customers, and we have seen that in a very positive way. Because first of all, the security content strategy is driven by the team at Cyberproof, and we're offloading that responsibility from you guys and your organization. So you can trust in us sorry for that. You can trust on us to pretty much manage your content, manage your services in this way, and following the Cyberproof framework, we can deliver security together. Okay. Now, cross collaboration. Nothing of this would be actual reality. We don't collaborate with threat hunters, CTI, and also the MDR and the SOC analysts. We at Cyberproof, we have all that together. So we have a cross-team collaboration, and that quick turnaround time can be delivered thanks to that. And in addition to that, the strategic approach not only gives us the chance to respond faster to malicious threat activities, but also to create that roadmap that you can bring to your business and you can bring to your investors as well. Because this is, my friends, is how we protect your money. That's it, pretty much, right? And well, once again, the security posture is controlled and measured by all these different reports that we provide, all these different metrics that we now implement and give you guys visibility of. This is a little bit of the collected feedback that we have gotten from head of security folks, CISOs, and also supervisors around the different customers that we actually have. Okay. This is pretty much what I have for today. Thank you very much. And I'll be more than happy to talk about use case management in booth 515 over there. Let's talk about Cyberproof and let's do better security together, okay? Thank you very much.